Welcome into Chicago Bears Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Harrison Graham. We got some breaking news to get into. Not major news by any means, but the Bears have signed a player that is one running back, Damien Williams, to a one-year contract. Let's talk about it for the next several minutes here. He has agreed to a one-year deal with the Chicago Bears for the 2021 NFL season. Now, Damien Williams did not play in 2020 for the Kansas City Chiefs. He opted out, was set to be under contract this year, but Kansas City opted to cut him to save just over $2 million. And Damien Williams is obviously very familiar with Matt Nagy from Nagy's time back in Kansas City. He's also familiar with Bill Lazor, crossing paths earlier in his career as well. So this is a natural fit for Damien Williams as he now joins a running back group that features a David Montgomery and a Tariq Cohen. We'll see kind of what the pecking order ends up being after Monty. But I do like this move. Damien Williams can do a little bit of everything. 5'11", 225, good body there. He can catch, he can run a little bit. I think overall this is a good depth signing for the Chicago Bears. So go ahead and grade it for me. The signing of Damien Williams, A, B, C, D, or F. Get your grades in on this one. How do you feel about the addition of Damien Williams? I'll go ahead and give it a B-. Look, I'm not going to do jumping jacks when you're adding a depth running back, but one-year deal, good value there. I think he brings good experience and he brings good capabilities to this running back position group for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, David Montgomery is the starting running back, but Tariq Cohen's coming off a major injury last year, and he's going to be, kind of more that receiving type of back, whereas Williams can do some of that, but Williams can give you some of that bruising running ability as well. So B- grade. I think he'll have some value in this offense, and I definitely think he will make the team when training camp rolls around. Subscribe to Chicago Bears Now. This is why you do it, because we have breaking news videos. We go live every single Tuesday at 4 o'clock Eastern with the latest rumors and news, and of course live Q&A as well. And maybe the biggest reason, it's 100% free. We're putting out videos every single day just for you guys, whether we're covering the latest rumors and news, putting out mailbags. We do it all. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button or peep the link below. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. So Damien Williams, he's on board, one-year contract with the Chicago Bears. Let's kind of talk a little bit more about what you can expect from him. Number one, a bit of an unknown, right? Opted out last year. He's 28 years old now. We'll see, how much gas is in the tank. Last time we saw him, he looked pretty good for Kansas City. He's balanced. He runs the ball well. He catches well. He's a pretty good run blocker as well at the running back position, which is important because the Bears' offensive line isn't exactly one of the better units in the National Football League. He can break tackles also. He's never been like this, 20, 25 carry per game type of guy, but the efficiency was there the last time we saw him. Over, 4.5 yards per carry, almost 500 yards on just over 100 carries there. Had 5 touchdowns as well. And I think the most impressive part of Damien Williams' tenure with the Kansas City Chiefs, where he spent the last few years of his career, is playoff Dame. Hey, Damian Lillard, you can sit down. Damien Williams is the real playoff Dame. 10 touchdowns in his last 5 playoff games for the Kansas City Chiefs, including a critical role in Super Bowl 54 in which the Chiefs won over the 49ers. If you remember, Patrick Mahomes in the passing game struggled for much of that game. Damien Williams ran for over 100 yards, had a couple of tutties in that one. He was very, very critical in both of the Chiefs' postseason runs prior to this year, obviously, when he decided to opt out. So he's been really good in the postseason. He's got experience, and like I said, he's a balanced running back that can do a little bit of everything. This is kind of where I sit with the depth chart right now. Obviously, David Montgomery is your top guy. RB2A, RB2B, Williams and Cohen. They do a little bit of different things. Cohen's more that finesse, make you miss type of guy. He's going to be more involved in the passing game, although Williams can do some of that. Whereas Williams, he can give you some of those short yards. He can catch a little. He's obviously going to be a better blocker than a guy like Tariq Cohen. So maybe it's a bit of a thunder and lightning situation behind David Montgomery. And maybe the Bears are thinking long-term too, like, hey, we don't want to run Monty into the ground because we'd like to give him a second contract coming up up in the next year or two. I think that's a good idea if that is in the plans for the Chicago Bears. So as far as roles, as far as fits, those are some of the things you can think about when it comes to Damien Williams. Now, who will be RB2? Now, the answer for me, I think, is it doesn't really matter because they're both going to have their own roles. But what do you guys think? Type DW for Damien Williams, TC for Tariq Cohen. Maybe think of it this way. Who will have a bigger role? Go ahead and let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Also, what does this mean for Cordarrelle Patterson, a player we've talked about a little bit, especially over the last couple of weeks? He's kind of started to tweet, things like, who's going to sign me in free agency? He's not recruiting players anymore to the Chicago Bears. I kind of think he's gone because his best attribute is as a kick returner. Pretty much, you have other guys who can do that. I'd like to see Darnell Mooney get involved there. And last year, his major role after Cohen got hurt was as the number 2 running back. Well, now you got Damien Williams and you got Tariq Cohen coming back. Cordarrelle Patterson's RB4 at this point. You still have Artavis Pierce and Ryan Nall as well competing for roster spots. So unless you want to focus him back as more of a receiver and kick return guy, which you can, and I like Cordarrelle. I think he's a good culture guy, but the money's really going to have to be right for the Bears to bring him back at this point. And if I had to guess, I think after the signing of Damien Williams, I'd put it at less than 30% that Cordarrelle Patterson is back with the Chicago Bears. We'll wait and see. I'd like to see him back. He's a good locker room guy, good teammate, but that only goes so far. It has to be for a productive player at the right price. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at HGramNFL. We're bringing you the breaking news and rumors here on the channel, but also updates on my Twitter page. I tweeted about this right when it came out before I filmed, so catch more Bears updates over there. Give me a couple more follows there at HGramNFL for more Bears and NFL coverage. So just to circle back here, Damien Williams, 1-year deal. Again, not doing jumping jacks, not to, fired up by any means, but I think it's a good value signing here. I think he'll bring experience, he'll bring some toughness, and he'll bring some good play as well to the running back position. You don't have to feed David Montgomery 30 times per game. You can lower his touches a bit, and Damien Williams will give you some good production there. So I'm excited to see what he's got left in the tank after opting out in 2020. And remember, he's familiar with Matt Nagy. Name another player the Bears could sign. Obviously, it's been an up and down free agency period for the Chicago Bears. Go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Damien Williams, your brand new Chicago Bear. Let me know who could be next as far as the Chicago Bears are concerned in NFL free agency.